My shoulders are a little tense. Oh, I'm lighting the pulse. So, Mercury has officially gone retrograde. If you don't know, Mercury is the ruling planet of Virgo and Gemini. And if you know people who are those signs, you would know why so many people are frantic right now. But anywho, it happened to go retrograde during the Gemini full moon. Another two-sided energetic spectrum that's going on. I'm going to do a simple reading for what may or may not occur during Mercury retrograde. Oh, my cards got mixed up. But yeah, I believe it's in retrograde until get my handy dandy pocket astrology guide out. I cannot keep up with all these dates, you know. I just can't. What is today? We in December already? Bummer. I should probably look at the calendar. It is December 4th. Mercury stations retrograde. It doesn't say. Anywho, one of these days is going, go back direct. Yeah, so let me get to it with this reading. So how has Scorpio season treated you all? So, a few things I want to know. Personally for me, which may, you may feel also. How is Sagittarius season going to affect us all today? Because a majority of Sag season, we got Mercury in retrograde, and that's also in Sagittarius. There's a lot of Sagittarius energy going on right now, of course. So just gotta see. Got a lot of cards popping up. What is in store for us? Okay. Dang, they coming through with the messages. So, what can we do to prepare ourselves? Not even prepare ourselves, but how can we, what steps should we be taking during this time precautiously towards business, love, communication affairs? What are some steps we should take? What kind of energy should we be feeling right? Well, applying. Then I'm going to do 2 confirmation cards from my oracle deck. Probably something related to letting go and taking action for what you want, because the year is slowly transitioning to an end, and it's speeding up actually. Confirmation on what's going on with all this Sagittarius energy, because me personally, I can't bother with it. Confirmation. Huh. Okay. It's pretty intense. So, pretty much right now, in order to gain our psychic development and our manifestations and all of that, we have to almost be frugal in a sense. Like, if we can't get it right then and there, then do we really need it? Is the question. The card that popped up was the Four of Pentacles, and psychic development was the confirmation. So, yeah, you don't want time to be wasted and you just dishing out, and you look back and it's like, oh shit, like I don't have nothing for me. I don't have anything to apply. Everything that I've been working for is gone because you're not really, taking control of it. You're just being loose with it, and that's what this season is telling us to do. Be mindful of our actions and our material habits, because you don't want to end up spending too much during Mercury retrograde and then afterwards be like, oh shit, like, where did it all go? I thought this was the time. Like, actually, also another message, let your psychic development come into play during this time rather than executing a lot of things. Like, think about the action that you want, or of that sort. Because if you don't, you can end up in poverty. Not necessarily you, but just as an overall basis, if you don't take control over these certain antics and hardships, you can end up in a lower place than you are right now. So just allow time to think about all of those things before you take too much action. We got so much pentacles. This money is coming next year. Y'all gotta be ready. The King of Pentacles is the card that's sitting in the present right now. And it is slowed but steady as the confirmation card. So like I was saying before, be frugal because you don't want to just be throwing stuff out there. Like, you gotta plan, think, put all those thoughts into action, and then you gotta execute the action, do trial and error, experiment, whatever you feel necessary. But just think about it before you take action so that you can become this king with the pentacles and you have it all. You have everything that you want. You can see these two kind of like go hand in hand. He's holding the pentacle, and right here is a swirl on a turtle. Now, slow but steady means to me that our timing isn't always going to be divine timing. Some things may come to us when we least expect it because our mind wasn't focused on having it or not having it. It just came because either the action was there or, this was the fruit of our labor. Now, when we try and rush through everything and not think about everything and just try and execute without looking at all your Uno cards, you're just throwing out mad draw fours. That's the same thing that applies here. You don't want to just be dishing out. You want to plan so that when it does come, you have it for you. And at that point, you can do whatever you want with it, Slow but steady wins the race, just like the tortoise and the hare. You already know. The Page of Swords is the future, the soul. And pretty much the Page of Swords is like, he just know. Like, he's very intuitive. He has a lot of secrets and wisdom and knowledge that he's gained upon his journey across with his little gadget face, and he's looking through the sword because the sword don't exist. And if you can, it almost looks like a phallic symbol, but I mean, that's just me because I be thinking like that. But yeah, the Page of Swords is very insightful. He holds a lot of secrets and all of that. And the confirmation card was, it's all good. The Page of Swords knows a lot, but he's often underestimated because he's young and his experience may not be as much of it as an experience as other people, but he still gained information out of his experience, and a lot of people can't accept that coming, like older people especially, like they can't accept that coming from a younger person. So the Page of Swords is that, that younger person that roams the city. He's skilled, like he knows his truths and he knows what's good for him and what he can execute. But people tend to, doubt him and all that. So just, understand that it's all good. You don't got to listen to those doubts that people are going to project onto you because it's not their journey. And yeah. Oh my goodness. The last card is the Ace of Pentacles. And when you look at this image, many people would think that, he's scary or it's a dragon, he's evil, but he's balance. The dragon is the balance. Well, he's a mystical creature. I call him a dragon because he reminds me of a dragon from a lot of fairy tales. But yeah, he made it to the point that he got all his cards in his basket. He's balanced between spiritual and material gain. He, he got it. Like he's protecting it. Like he worked hard to get to where he is. Like he had to go, like save, use coupons, all of that. He had to think. He had to use his intuition. He had to plan. He had to put all of this into action to get what he wanted. He had to deal with doubt. He had to deal with a lot of stuff to get to where he is today. So this is what you see physically. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. We give that emotion of good, bad, da da da. He is what most would say perfection. He has the will to succeed because he kept all his marbles in a jar and didn't just throw them all out and get frenzied and frantic and whatnot. And like I was saying before, Mercury is the sign of communication, but it also deals with intellectual pursuits and how you come across like business or how you're going to come across like in relationships, situationships, like things dealing with communication and speaking and your throat and, all of that good stuff. So Gemini is telling us that we need to put in this work. I mean, not Gemini, Sagittarius. He's the archer, the half centaur horse man. Like he is both spiritual realm and material realm, which is why they hold so much fire energy, have to heat things up to, get to that point sometimes. So beware of all the brawls and stuff that may happen pertaining, your communication, your feelings, and like stuff that you want to do with your future. Just stand firm and, put all of those thoughts into action before you just try and, execute. Because right now it's all about psychic development, taking things slow and steady, and understanding that it's all good. At the end of the day, we give emotion to what things are. We say it's bad or good rather than just is, So that's the message. If you would like a personal Mercury in retrograde reading, I am doing a little sale. One card for $5, 3 cards for $12.33. 5 cards for $15.55. So holla at me. My email is gypsymars, gypsymars@gmail.com. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Make it do what it do. If you have an Instagram, my name is Flo is Mars with a Z. yeah. Adios.